Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Chelsea Rundown, episode 43 for the Dolphins' third, and it was the grand final. I am joined by Ace. The theme music, Gunna Run, was by Tony Herdman. Thank you very much for that. Ace, grand final. I'm still mopping up the tears on this end, mate. Tell me things.
I don't know what to say, but first and foremost, big shout out to Tony. Fucking thanks again, mate, for the lovely track. And unfortunately, we weren't able to do you proud because we weren't doing a lot of running. And if we were doing running, we seemed to be running from behind. But look, it was an interesting game. We probably went in there expecting to probably be a little bit the underdogs. And but we certainly didn't play like that, especially for the first 3 quarters of the game. We were neck and neck, toe and toe, and it looked like the game was going to swing any which way. But unfortunately, in the end, not to give any spoilers, but you can probably tell by the somber tones of our voices, we were unable to hoist the flag at the end of the day. And, you know, 2 teams who have been battling it out all year and felt like we're probably pretty evenly matched. Just unfortunately, we were probably a little bit out game planned, I'll call it. They certainly went in there with an idea that they were going to take the bats out of our hands and stop us causing any damage on the bases. And they executed a little bit better than us. Let's just say that. So, Pat, shout out to you, Bonbeach. Great job by you guys. And look, we'll see you again.
Yeah, top game. Well played, fellas. Ace, from our side, who was in that lineup?
Yeah, so look, we had a full squad this week. Daz, Jess, myself, Big Mace, yourself, Teabagger, Bareback, Connor, Travie Moore, Drewy Tompkins, Liesel, Darcy, Jacob, and Big Willie down the bottom there.
Nice work, everyone. Ace, how do we look in the field?
Look, there wasn't too many things going wrong in the field. This is the interesting part about baseball, which makes it such an intriguing sport. We actually fielded pretty well, near on errorless. You know, there was a couple of little things here and there. There was a pretty wispy wind that was dragging the ball from left to right if you're in the batter's box.
Yeah.
And it sort of threw a few of us on the fly balls out. But look, other than that, like, we were both playing in the same conditions, and you know, we actually fielded really well, I thought, for the most part. A couple of really good plays. Everyone was doing their thing, and everyone was just playing really well. And like I said, it was just all boiled down to a couple of lucky hits. And unfortunately, on this day, it wasn't. They weren't for us, and they were for Bonbeach, because there wasn't really too much going wrong on either side of the ground. But at the end of the day, someone's going to land on the side of fence, which is the lucky side. Look, a big shout out to Mace. Look, he pitched a hell of a game. You know, whether they maybe caught up to him sort of in the latter digs, that's here or there. You know, everyone played really well. I can't fault anyone, realistically. I don't know what else to say.
I know what else to say, mate. I failed to get 1 hit. I never got on first all day. But please tell me who did well in the batter's box for us.
Oh, mate, it's not a long list, so don't stress. You know, myself, who went strikeoutless all year, Teabagger, not a single strikeout for the whole season. Manages to strike out twice in the grand final. But look, at the end of the day, not a lot going on in the batter's box. 6 hits in total for the day, and 3 of those came Jess, myself, and Mace, all 1 each. And Travie Moore got 2, and Big Liesel probably had the best hit on the day, which was a 2 RBI single. Myself, I got a 2 RBI single, but you know, when I look back at the hit, it wasn't great. I just managed to hit the gap. But yeah, look, they had a very good game plan. I think they knew who probably our stronger hitters were, and they were like, right, we're not going to throw them too much down the middle. And they knew probably sort of who were the next tier of hitters, and they thought, right, we're going to gas these guys up with a little bit more speed. And then they probably knew who the next tier was, and they was right, yeah, just throw it hard and fast down the middle. Look, Dave Fisher coming on sort of the second half there, sort of something, probably a little bit of speed that we hadn't seen for most part of the year. So he sort of probably turned a few heads a little bit. And look, the other thing was, and I'm not pointing fingers, I'm not playing the blame game, but the strike zone was probably not what we were used to, and not something that we've been playing with all year. A lot of pitches that should have been balls were called strikes, and a lot of strikes were called balls. So it was an interesting adapting period there, and I know I certainly wasn't able to adapt. It's very hard to sort of get your brain to say, hey, swing at that, it's low and outside. And I know probably a few of us felt the same, versus Bonbeach, who had those more experienced heads, you know, a lot more games behind them, who were quicker ably to adapt to the style of pitching that was being accepted as a strike, and they got hits off them. So good on them.
That they did very well. From my point of view, just having the 3 umpires on the field was a complexity in itself I wasn't expecting, but that's neither here nor there either. Ace, what was that final score?
Are we going to talk about the tag out at second that the umpire wasn't looking at? Anyway, the final score was 6-11, and look, that final score probably isn't a real reflection on where the game was actually at. For probably a good chunk, 3/4 there, we were up 5-4. And then it just sort of slipped away with us in the later digs. And, you know, that's the difference between grand final champs and grand final losers.
Speaking of grand final plays, Ace, it's time for the Golden Flipper Award. Mate, whom is nominee 1 this week?
Yeah, so the first nom comes to yourself, Big Teabagger, because you've been dominating that outfield right field position all year, and this was a superb play by yourself where you were able to run in on a ball and pick it up and just do a lovely little throw straight over my head, straight to second base for the tag out. Absolutely big shout out to you, Teabagger. You played a hell of a year, you batted well, you fielded amazingly. Super impressed with everything that you've done and everything that you brought to the team, obviously with the show and just your energy and enthusiasm every week. So a very willing and happy nomination to you, Teabagger.
Thank you very much, sir. And a shout out to you for calling 2-2-2 as I picked up the ball, because in my head I was going to 1, and it wasn't until your brilliant calling that actually got us the out. So thank you for that. Whom is nominee 2, please?
Yeah, so we actually noticed that Big Drewy hadn't had a nomination all year, even though he's done some sublime things with the bat. But then he comes out on the weekend and he had the one man who threw us out every day at number 2 in all sorts. He absolutely brain melted Shane Fisher on this one. He sort of got a massive lead, and Shane also wasn't too sure what he was doing, and he sort of faked left, right, back, forth, give and go, and then off he took. And he managed to get into second, slide in for the safe pitch. I think it was one of the only stolen bases on Shane Fisher that I've ever seen, and it was probably one of the longest durations. Normally we try to get him with a quick jump, but on this one it was actually a bit of a, hey, let's have a bit of a baseball mind war, if you will. And the two of them, obviously, you know, with the years of baseball knowledge that they have, they battled it out really well. But Drewy got the chocolates on this one, and like I said, no one that I know has got a stolen base on Shane Fisher except for the skipper. So big tats off to you, Skips.
Great work, Mr. 49, showing us how it's done. My apologies for the footage you're currently seeing. The camera died halfway through the game, so this is obviously a series of stills, as was mine. However, I can confidently say nominee 3 this week, Ace, is on video. Whom is it, please?
So the blonde bomber, a.k.a. Shakira, a.k.a. the infant, a.k.a. baby formula, she got the best hit of the day, you know, and a lot of chit-chat from probably myself towards Liesl in indicating her to stay in the batter's box finally paid off. She does listen, I can confirm, and she managed to pop this one over, I think it was centre right, over second baseman's head, and turned a 2 RBI single, probably for the best hit of the day. You know, she's been leaps and bounds and just super impressed with everything that she does every week, and super proud of you, Liesl, and looking forward to playing with you next season.
Yeah, it was a fantastic effort. I think that fired up the whole Dolphin pod when that hit and 2 RBIs came through. Great work, Liesl. You 100% might get my vote this week for that phenomenal single 2 RBI. Ace, where does your vote sit, mate?
Yeah, look, I had to give it to Liesl myself because I feel like that was probably one of the big turning points in the game where we thought, you know, we can actually win this game, because I think at that stage it put us up 3-, or it might have tied the scores at that stage. And then I think later on I came on and put us up by 1. So very impressed with that. So, yeah, at that stage I think it was 2-0, but then Liesl came and just tied the scores like that. And, you know, that's what we want from these guys. Everyone contributes. If everyone contributes, then increases our chances of winning.
Indeed it does. Great work, Liesl. That's 2 votes from the panel here. But Ace, tell me, how that Facebook poll shape up?
So that means Liesl finishes on 8. Big Drewy finishes on 3. And yourself, Teabagger, walked away with 2, unfortunately.
Very good. I appreciate the nomination and the votes, everyone. Ace, the big upcoming event. You've got to tell us all about it. Whom, what, when, where, why? D&D Cup.
Well, the D&D Cup Friday, 27th of September, midday start. It's something that we've been trying to enforce. It originally started with the Dolphins and the Ducks. Now it's just the Dolphins and the Dolphins because the Ducks quacked all the way back to Morty Alec, and they didn't want to come quack back. So
They
now we're just
quacked
doing
right off.
Yeah, now we're just doing it with the Dolphins versus the ees, and we look forward to everyone coming down. It's a great way to just start the season off and just everyone getting sort of familiar with everybody. A few handshakes, a couple of drinks, and nothing too serious, just a bit of baseball amongst mates. So get on down there, 27th of September. Come on down, have a hit, and maybe you might pop a dinger.
It'd be nice to see an ace. Friday, the 27th of September. Is that 1 week? Could we call that round zero? Is the following weekend round one, I believe?
I believe this will be round 0. So good warm up into the new season where we'll be playing state level 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this will be an interesting step up in competition. And, I think the D grade Dolphins might be ready for it. We've done all right in C2 and we've done all right this year. So this will be a good, interesting year and I look forward to it.
Bonbeach, hats off to you. Well played. You beat us fair and square on the day. Tip of the cap. And I'm going to wrap this up now so I can go cry some more. Ace, thank you very much for hosting.
And just remember, the pod always swims strongest together. And even if they're swimming up the current, we'll come back. And one day we will hoist that mackerel cup and we all shall drink out of it together. So let's get back down to training. Let's get back down to playing. Let's win a few more games. Let's get back to the big dance.
Indeed. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. The description in the video includes links to Tony Herdman's excellent music and also the partial game full record as the camera died halfway. Once again, my apologies. Thank you, everyone. See you next season.